Greetings, my brave adventurers! I am the FoxyBard, and I'm here to regale you with tales of both friends and foes. So pour yourself some ale and grab a seat by the fire as we dig into more stories of role-playing. Today we're diving back into the subreddit r/D&D horror stories with a story posted by the user WreckedToons. They bring us the tale of a blade singer who had some serious main character syndrome going on here. So let's dive right in! I recently joined a campaign through Roll20, really wanting to play a specific character I had recently made, a paladin who was very much meant to be a silent hero, who did good things and saved people, but never took any credit or tried to sway people to do the right thing. Anyways, I make sure to ask the DM about the players and their characters. He tells me, and my character seems like he'd fit in pretty well, so I don't make many changes and am pumped for session 1. A few minutes in, my PC, along with another new player, are introduced to the game. Everyone seemed amicable enough. I specifically enjoyed a Grung monk named Robert, who could only communicate by saying his name. Everyone except one player, who was running late. We go to a dungeon and start looking around. As soon as he joins, he aggressively takes charge, doesn't apologize for being late or anything. Me and the new guy never even got a chance to introduce ourselves. He brushed us off whenever we tried RPing with him, and talked down to us constantly. Jokingly, I asked out of character if his player was always like this, and he said, "Yeah, pretty much, lol," to which everyone agreed. As we're walking through a dungeon crawl, Will, that's what we'll call him, just starts telling the DM where the party is going, following him, and refusing to listen to what anyone else has to say. I pipe up and say that we're a group, so it should be democratic and fair, and he scoffs and gets all huffy, talking to us like children, asking us where we would like to go. My character ignores the tone and leads the group, who all agree they wanted to go another way. As I reach a door, I try to listen to the other side. Before I can even roll, Will belts out that he kicks down the door, and the DM goes with it. I'm frustrated at this point, but figure at some point he'll kick down the wrong door and the behavior would stop. It never did. We ended the session after clearing the dungeon. I was a bit frustrated, but nevertheless hoping that maybe the guy was just having an off day. Next session comes around, and we need to go to an abandoned town to slay a green dragon terrorizing the countryside. Great! I love fighting dragons! So we head out. We reach the town, and Will is back to the same behavior of kicking down doors without checking and commanding folks around, who are too socially awkward or have dealt with this for so long they think it's normal. This time, I'm not just gonna go along with it. We eventually reach a house in this town that looks intact, with signs warning of a dragon and dangerous creatures around, as well as a sign that says, "Gone Fishin'," on the front. So what do you think Will does? Will kicks down the door, using the excuse, "He's in a town with a dragon in it, he must be evil." Now, this would be fine if it weren't a blatant lie from the player who then immediately started ransacking the place, searching for valuables. My paladin obviously stepped in, saying he couldn't just break down someone's door and steal their things. He ignores my PC, so I grapple him to try and remove him from the residence. Then the owner of the house comes home. Turns out he's a super chill old druid who's been trying to keep the town safe. Checks out, considering the evidence. My character and the rest of the party apologize for Will, who is continuing to be rude to the man, saying he is boring, and then leaves without the party. We once again apologize and thank him for some info he gave us on the dragon. The party all agrees it would be best to face the dragon at full strength, so we wish to head there first. Everyone, except Will. Will wants to search every building in town before the dragon fight. Out of character, the DM had said there would be a magic item in the town. He insisted and wouldn't budge on the issue, just saying he walks to the next building and kicks the door down. but the party decided they didn't want to follow him. So my character said, "Damn him! Let him go off on his fool's errand alone. We'll face the dragon." And so we did. Unfortunately, and to my shock, the DM decided to follow Will by himself instead of the majority of the party. And unfortunately, Will the Bladesinger had been given OP magic items and stats, making him very strong, and the encounters were designed for level 3s. We were level 6. He killed every single thing he met single-handedly without using a spell slot. And unfortunately, by the time he was done, DM said he had run out of time. But right before that, he gave Will the magic item he had been told about. Probably as an attempt to get him to come back to the party. As the session ended, Will lectured the group, quote, "I'm not sorry I made you all wait. I got this magic item. You guys should have just come with me, even though I obviously didn't need any of you." At that point, I left the call, overall frustrated with the night. I DM'd the GM about my frustrations, who said there would be consequences for the player, but also implied the whole party would as well. It's been a week, and we're supposed to meet again tonight. I really don't want to deal with another night with this player, but I love my PC, the other players, and the story in DM. Since I'm new, I'm worried I'll seem a homewrecker if I bring this issue to the other players. Thoughts? I'm both frustrated by the players' actions and also how the DM is handling it. I feel like maybe I could talk to the other players at the table? I don't know. Now obviously this is pretty frustrating, and I do have thoughts, but in one of the comments, OP followed up on it. We did play tonight, and my PC in character confronted him on acting that way. I think it really embarrassed him, and he actually ended up quitting the campaign entirely, with nobody really arguing against it. So I guess all's well that ends well. Whew, okay, that is definitely a player who is highly infected with main character-itis. He believes that the game is his to play alone, and that the other players don't matter. It's like in his head, he's playing Skyrim, and everyone else is just NPCs. I am proud of OP for how he ended up handling it. A lot of the time when you hear stories like this, nobody wants to confront the problem player because they're all too afraid of, well, rocking the boat. And I do think that doing it in character was a really good way to go about it without necessarily having a personal attack on the other person. Judging by the fact that nobody really complained or got angry, I think this was probably an eventuality. Though, to give the guy some credit, he did leave after he found out that he was really irritating everyone else. That's a lot better than it could have gone. This could have easily been a huge fight. Basically, yeah, I agree with the OP. All's well that ends well. And hey, if you look at the subscriber count below this video, we're coming up on 100. Once we get there, I have decided that I'm going to open up a Discord server for anyone who wants to be part of a community based around this channel. So tell your friends, and for those of you watching and not subscribed, you know, you do you, but I would really appreciate it. And that is the end of our story today. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. I would also love you so much if you'd feed that algorithm monster, that nasty thing, with a like, a subscribe, maybe even sharing it around, so that we can help the channel grow. Until then, let's douse the fire and get back to our own adventures. Gone fishing.